We're about to dive into one of the most famous songs ever written. But we're not going to treat it like a song. Not really. We're going to treat it as an invitation to join in a massive thought experiment, a step-by-step deconstruction of, well, everything.
And it all kicks off right here, with this one incredibly provocative line. See, this isn't just a lyric, it's the very first instruction. Before anything else, the song asks us to just erase the concept of an afterlife, a belief that is foundational for billions of people. It immediately sets the stage for a truly radical exercise.
Because that's the real power of this whole thing. It doesn't just show you a vision, it directly tells you, the listener, to use your own imagination. It's not a passive experience at all. The whole idea is that to build something new, you first have to be willing to imagine taking it all apart.
And that's the perfect way to frame it. The song isn't asking us to add new rules or invent new technology to get to a utopia. Nope, it's an exercise in subtraction. We're being asked to peel back these huge, abstract layers that define our lives and just see what's left underneath it all.
So what are the first big things to go? Well, the experiment targets the grand structures that define who we are, our spiritual beliefs and our geopolitical identities. You know, all the lines we draw on our maps and in the sky.
So here you can really see the contrast laid out. On one side, you've got the world we know, defined by these massive and, let's be honest, often conflicting ideas. And on the other side is what the lyrics suggest would fill that space. If you get rid of heaven and hell, what's left is above us only sky, no religion, just living for today. And if you remove countries, the song proposes the result is simply people living life in peace.
In this line, this is presented as the direct result of that first big step. The argument the song is making is that if you remove nations and organized religion, you also remove the main reasons people have had for centuries of large-scale conflict. It's a really bold and direct connection to make.
Okay, so after getting rid of those abstract boundaries, the experiment moves on to something much more tangible, much more personal: possessions. This instruction, wow, it challenges the very foundation of our global economy, and for a lot of us, our individual identities, which are so often tied to the stuff we own.
The song lays out a pretty clear chain reaction here, like a set of dominoes. It all starts with getting rid of private ownership. What happens next? The song claims you'd eliminate greed or hunger, and from that new, equitable world, a brotherhood of man can finally happen, which leads to the ultimate endgame, humanity sharing all the world.
So, after stripping away heaven, hell, countries, religion, and possessions, what's the final vision? What's the end point of this whole thought experiment? This is the world that's left after we've done all that subtracting.
And it all boils down to this profound, almost shocking simplicity. And the world will live as one. After all that deconstruction, all the complexity we've just mentally erased, it comes down to this. Not different groups, not competing interests, but a single, unified humanity. One.
You know, this song almost seems to anticipate its own critics. It is fully aware that this whole vision sounds, well, idealistic, maybe even impossibly so. It acknowledges that dreamer label head-on, but then it does something clever. It turns it into an invitation, suggesting, hey, maybe this is a shared dream.
And that really brings us to the core tension of this entire exercise, doesn't it? Is what we just imagined a blueprint for a better future, a utopian ideal we should be working towards? Or is it a totally naive and impossible fantasy that dangerously simplifies who we are as human beings?
But here's the thing. The song isn't a political manifesto. It doesn't give us a 10-point plan on how to get there. Its purpose isn't to give us the answer. Its entire job is just to pose the question, to get us to participate in the act of imagining. The process is the whole point.
And so we end right back where we started, with an instruction to think. Is the world we just walked through in this thought experiment a beautiful, aspirational dream? Or is it a dangerous fantasy that ignores some fundamental truths about us? The song won't tell you. That part, that's for you to decide.